What's up, Togs? So I've enjoyed the heck out of creating content and riding the Dyna Switchback. I hope that you've enjoyed watching it, but the time has come, and I told you this from the start, that this bike is not a permanent fixture on the channel, and lo and behold, it has found its way to a new home. So the new owner will be coming to pick it up tomorrow. If that worries you, that now all you're going to see is this beautiful El Dorado, that's not necessarily the case, because even though we're saying goodbye to the Switchback, it doesn't mean we're saying goodbye to Harley, and it doesn't mean that we're only going to have one bike on the channel. And let me just show you.
What is up, Togs? What is this? What is this? You might be wondering. Well, there's a story behind it, and I'm going to share it with you. So, for those of you who don't know, I have two jobs, maybe three if you count directing, choreographing shows. I have my regular day job, actually four jobs if you count motovlogging. But yeah, other than motovlogging is my hobby. My side gig is choreography, teaching dance classes, and then I also direct shows here at our local theater. And in addition to directing, motovlogging, and choreographing, I have a day job, and that day job is working at the university here, University of California at Davis. And you know, you come across all kinds of people when you have that many jobs, from all different walks of life, and not everyone knows that I do directing. Not everyone knows that I do musicals. Not everyone knows that I act, and a lot of people don't know that I motovlog or even ride motorcycles. But I happen to ride my motorcycle into a dance class, and the person that works at the front desk there noticed that I was walking in with a helmet, and she has a son who is in the United States Armed Forces. I'm not sure which branch, but if I can find that out, I'll have that here for you. And he has a motorcycle that she keeps charged, but she says doesn't get ridden because they don't know the first thing about motorcycles. They don't ride, and so they keep it on the battery tender. But other than that, this bike doesn't get ridden. So I volunteered to go ahead and take this bike out. And you might say, oh yeah, you volunteered to ride a motorcycle. how chivalrous of you. But yeah, no, I know that this is a huge privilege. And also, I also do feel like, hey, you know, if I can do this for one of our service members and help them out, you know, this is just a tiny thing that I can do. But at the same time, hey, I've got this bike that we can take a look at on the channel. If you guys, this is actually a street rod 750, which is kind of the upgraded of the 750 and the 500, the street series. And actually, I took a look at this bike back before I bought my third Sportster, I think it was, because you can get these bikes for a good deal. They are somewhat modifiable. You can modify them to an extent, and they're Harleys. So there's a lot of ups, but I never bought one. But here I had this opportunity to ride this one, do a favor to a friend, and we get to take a look at a different bike on the channel, and one that, to be honest, I wanted to ride this bike for a long time. They're never on demo trucks because these are kind of not the street rod, but the street 750 and the street 500 are. I know that I believe it's the 500 series that Harley uses in their beginner rider courses. And so these aren't available for test rides, and so this is a good opportunity for me to take a look, and actually like a nice long look at this bike, because I'll take it out every once in a while. So this isn't going to be a review video. This is just to say, hey, this is something that I'm going to be doing on the channel. And if you guys have questions out there about the Street Rod 750, make sure you leave them in the comments, and I'll take those into consideration when I eventually do a little review of this bike. Now, just right off the bat, it makes me grateful when I had my Super Duke, my 1290 Super Duke R, that it wasn't so tucked. And this bike has my knees up, hugging the gas tank. I'm 5'6". I got about 30-inch inseam, about 70 inches of arm span, and it's a nice tuck. I don't feel too far forward where I'm putting a lot of weight on my wrists here. But this tuck, it's a different feeling, because I haven't had my Super Duke in a while, and even in my Super Duke, I was not this tucked. My knees were not this high, which is what I loved about the Super Duke, is it had a nice, comfortable riding position, and it never really put me in a super tight tuck. One of the other bikes that I looked at before I bought the Super Duke was the BMW S1000R, and I really liked that bike, but it was like this one where my knees were really up against the tank and kind of tucked into my to my stomach, or close to my stomach. And it's just for long distances, if you're gonna ride these things on the track, and you want to really be in that tight tuck, and you want to get some speed, lean into it, that's where these would be a great bike. But for me, it's just not for me. But again, this is just an awesome opportunity for me to have a chance to ride this bike, get to know it a little bit, and again, for you guys to ask questions about the Street 750 if you have them. So I mean, we'll talk just a tad bit about the riding, more about the riding position. It's got this weird rear brake peg side where you rest your heel on the exhaust. The exhaust is very heavily covered by heat guard. So I don't feel any heat by my foot, but like if you can see, that's where I rest my heel. And at first it was just weird. It was weird to have my foot up here. The left side peg, the shifter on the shifter side, it's fairly straightforward, pretty normal, I would say. But yeah, the brake side is what took some getting used to. On this particular bike, the clutch lets out really late, and so when I first started going, I revved up really high because I was trying to find the friction zone. Couldn't find it, but I'm getting used to it now. The nice thing about it letting out so late is that, like, even for a 750, I'm not. This isn't necessarily a review, so I don't want to give you guys a whole bunch of numbers, throw a whole bunch of numbers at you. But for a 750, it has got some pep and it gets up on it, but nothing like a real sport naked bike. At least, I'm not going to get super aggressive because this is my first time riding it, and want to respect this gentleman's property. But yeah, there's a nice exhaust that's not stock. I believe the typical exhaust is going to be pretty quiet. But this is actually pretty loud, and we're just gonna basically I'm just gonna take this thing out and just get an initial feel for it, and we'll do a longer review. So make sure in the comments you leave those questions for me. If you have questions about the Street Rod 750 or anything that you want to know, I will make sure that I do some better research, because for right now, you know, I just hopped on this bike not knowing a whole lot about its specs, horsepower, torque, all those numbers. I don't really have any of that stuff, but I will have that for you upon my review. So this is just kind of an introduction video to the Street Rod 750. I'll find out what year it is too, so I can get a little bit more specific for you. So you guys, if you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there, which is the like button, and if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Guys, if you are out there riding, please be safe, be kind to one another. My name is Eric, I am that one guy, and I am out.